Welcome back. So AmaZulu Prime Minister Thulasizwe Buthelezi has announced an advisory board which will assist him on matters assigned by King Misuzulu KaZwelithini. The board is made up of experts in law, culture and business and will be operating through 6 specific working streams, including finance and economic stimulation, among others. Now, chairperson of the Ubhoko lukaZulu board, Professor Gugu Mazibuko joins us now live for more. Prof. Mazibuko, a good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I think, obviously, congratulations due to you. Firstly, let's start with how you received the news that this board was going to be set up, that you were going to chair it, and your understanding of the purpose of this structure.
Okay, good evening, Naledi, and your viewers, and thank you very much for hosting me, and thank you very much for congratulating me. It is something that I was not expecting, because when you look at the board members of Ubhoko lukaZulu, you could see that it has brought together a variety of experts and knowledgeable people with experience about the kingdom, and people with a vision of developing the Zulu kingdom. However, I was humbled by being appointed as the chairperson of this huge board.
Yeah. What is the purpose of the board, in your understanding? I mean, I think that's going to be an interesting question, because you've got quite a few people that are part of this board. You are chairing. You've got the likes of Dr. Sanele Kumete, Dr. Siphamandla Zondi. The list goes on and on. When you were contacted and said, well, this is what we're setting up, what is the mandate? What is the vision? What is the mission?
Oh, well, maybe it's important to mention that this board, it is a designated brain and think tank to the Zulu Prime Minister, Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi, who is the senior advisor to the monarch and also the principal spokesperson of the Zulu Kingdom. This board it deals with the matters, the issues of culture, of social life of the Zulu nation. It's an independent structure that observe issues, craft themes for analysis, and also give independent analysis to the Prime Minister as a foot soldier on governance issues on behalf of the Zulu monarch.
Is this in any way a way of slowly but surely bringing in new leadership into the Ingonyama Trust? I mean, one of the big stories certainly that's come out in the past 24 hours has been the request by the Zulu King Misuzulu KaZwelithini made to the Minister of Land Reform, asking for an investigation into the Ingonyama Trust and its board.
Well, Naledi and your viewers, I just want to highlight this, that this board has just been established. It has nothing to do with what you have just talked about, but it looks at all issues that pertains to the Zulu nation. And it has just had inaugural meeting, and it is at a stage whereby we are developing even our mission, our vision, and all other things. But what the traditional Prime Minister has done is to bring together this group of experts so that we can look at all the issues as independent structure.
Yeah, but I mean, your view,
non-governmental structure.
Yes, but then your view of the issues and challenges that have been raised around the Ingonyama Trust. I mean, we're talking about incredibly valuable land here, and the king saying we need to investigate it. You've got, for instance, earlier on in the year, party politicians saying that they want to see, for instance, the ANC take its hands out of the cookie jar where the Ingonyama Trust is concerned. So as you come in to serve as the chair of this board for the Zulu Nation's Prime Minister, surely that's an issue that is top of mind for yourself.
I cannot say that that's the issue that is on top of our minds, because there are so many issues. There are serious issues of poverty. There are serious issues of unemployment, issues of mental wellness of the nation. There are so many issues. The economy. People are sitting at home. They are not working. They've just lost hope. And the key issues are issues of poverty. But then the board will be looking at all other issues that affects the Zulu Nation.
Okay, and then of course there's going to be around the, talk to me about some of the board members, then how they were appointed, that process. So, and some standout names, particularly where finance and economic stimulation has been looked at as a theme that is an important one for this advisory board. And I raise that issue, Prof, because we are living in a time where we have a government, you have a national government, a provincial government, really, that oversees some of the work that is done in our communities. COGTA, for instance. Why would the Zulu Nation need an advisory board to govern some of its ideas moving forward?
Well, I will always go back and say, this is the think tank. This is the brain and think tank of the Zulu Prime Minister. So it advise, it assist the Prime Minister, it sit down with him. So there are the names of people in the finance and economy stimulation, the people who, some of them mostly are successful business people. It's also people who are also in academia, in the small business sector. So it is bringing in the business sector as well as the people in the academia that are also dealing with the issues of the economy. So a Zulu Nation, just like all other nations, cannot just sit down and say, okay, because there is the government, okay, because there are structures, there are national structures and provincial structures, we can just sit down. We cannot do that. But as we have been appointed by the process that was involved in appointing the members of the board, it was the traditional Prime Minister himself, because this is his think tank. So he was bringing in all experts in IT, in communication, in law, in other fields like engineering and many other experts.
Okay, well, we'll be watching the work of the advisory board closely. The first point of order for you, or point of action for you as the board?
Well, the point of action for us as the board, it's not just one item, but it's a combination of many items. Firstly, to look at, to advise on the matters of the peace and harmony in the kingdom, and also to look at the issues of how can the nation, how can the king, how can the traditional Prime Minister work together with the king to address the issues of the poor communities, of the people who are hungry, the people who must be assisted in many ways so that they can also have something before they go to sleep.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Chairperson there of the Ubhoko lukaZulu Advisory Board. That board set up by the Zulu traditional Prime Minister, and of course the chair being Professor Gugu Mazibuko, in conversation with us this evening. You're still watching Newsfeed PM, the late edition. We take a short break. We're back in a moment.